Traveling to Canada is an incredible experience, offering vibrant cities, breathtaking landscapes, and diverse cultural encounters. However, one common challenge travelers face is the language barrier. Canada is officially bilingual, with both English and French being the primary languages spoken. This can pose a challenge if you're not familiar with either language, but fear not. In this journey, we'll guide you through how to effectively deal with language barriers and give you some pro tips on how to speak the language while traveling, enhancing your experience and making it more personal and immersive. Subscribe for more adventures. Understanding Canada's bilingual landscape. Canada is a country that celebrates linguistic diversity. English is the dominant language in most regions, while French is predominantly spoken in Quebec, parts of Ontario, and a few smaller areas in the east. To help you navigate the linguistic landscape, it's important to know where you are and what languages will be most commonly used. Key takeaways. Official bilingualism. Canada recognizes both English and French as official languages, and federal institutions serve both languages. Provincial differences. English is dominant across most provinces, while Quebec is predominantly French-speaking. Regions with different language dominance. Knowing which areas of Canada speak which language will help you plan your travels. Here's a breakdown. English-speaking provinces. Most provinces, including British Columbia, Alberta, Ontario, and the Atlantic provinces, speak primarily English. French-speaking areas. Quebec is the heart of French Canada, with Montreal and Quebec City being major cities where French is the primary language. Research local dishes in advance. Canada has a rich culinary scene with regional specialties like poutine in Quebec, butter tarts in Ontario, and salmon in the Pacific Northwest. Understanding what to order and how to pronounce these dishes in French or English will help you navigate menus and food orders more confidently, especially in bilingual areas like Quebec. In French-speaking areas like Montreal and Quebec City, many restaurants will have menus in French, which can be a challenge if you're not fluent. Use apps like Google Translate to help you translate menu items, especially if you're unsure about certain ingredients or food types. You can even take a picture of the menu to get an instant translation. If you have specific dietary restrictions, make sure to communicate these clearly. Many restaurants will accommodate these requests, but it's better to ask in advance to ensure your needs are met. Learn key phrases like "Je suis végétarienne," I'm vegetarian, in French, or "I have a gluten allergy" in English, depending on where you are. In cities like Montreal, Vancouver, and Toronto, food tours can be a great way to explore local cuisine while bypassing language barriers. Many food tour guides speak both English and French and can help translate for you, giving you a deeper understanding of Canadian dishes and food culture. Canada's diverse culture means its food varies widely across the country. From East Coast seafood to prairie farm-to-table dishes and Indigenous-inspired meals, embrace the local food scene wherever you are. If you're in a French-speaking region, don't be afraid to ask a waiter or shopkeeper to explain the dish in English or help you with recommendations. These tips will help you enjoy the culinary delights of Canada, making your dining experiences more enjoyable and stress-free. In most of Canada, English is widely spoken, and you'll have no trouble navigating with just basic English. However, understanding some regional variations or accents will enhance your experience. Use clear and simple language. Some areas may have distinct regional dialects or slang. If you're unsure, keep your language simple and direct. Listen for local phrases. In areas like Toronto or Vancouver, you'll hear common phrases that are part of the local culture, like "eh?" a conversational tag, or "sorry," often used when bumping into someone. If you're heading to Quebec, learning a bit more about the French culture and language will go a long way. Quebec French can be different from the French spoken in France, with unique idioms and accents. Here are a few tips. Practice common phrases. People in Quebec often appreciate when you try, even if you don't speak perfect French. Learn the differences. The French in Quebec has its own rhythm and some vocabulary distinct from European French. In today's digital age, you don't need to rely solely on language skills. Several tools can help you communicate more effectively. Google Translate. Ideal for quick translations, especially when you're unsure about a word or phrase. Duolingo. If you want to prepare before your trip, this app helps you learn basic French or brush up on your English skills. Offline dictionaries. Apps that allow you to download language dictionaries for offline use can be a lifesaver when you're in areas with limited internet access. Pro tips to enhance your language skills. Mastering the language while traveling doesn't have to be daunting. Here are some tips. Immerse yourself. Listen to podcasts or watch TV shows in the language you're learning. This helps you get used to the rhythm and flow of conversation. Engage with locals. Don't be shy. Practice with locals even if you're only saying a few words at a time. Most people will appreciate your effort to speak their language. Use language learning apps. Apps like Babbel and Memrise are great for learning vocabulary and conversational phrases. Take a local language class. Some areas offer short-term classes, especially in French-speaking regions, for travelers to learn basic communication skills. Knowing how to communicate in the local language is important, but understanding cultural nuances makes your interactions more authentic. Politeness goes a long way. In both English and French-speaking parts of Canada, politeness is valued. Basic manners such as saying please and thank you will make a big difference. Respect for local language laws. In Quebec especially, there are laws that prioritize French in public signage and communications. Be respectful of these cultural norms. While learning the language is essential, be aware of common missteps. Don't assume everyone speaks English. In Quebec, not everyone speaks English fluently. Avoid assuming that people will switch to English automatically. Avoid overcompensating. If you're trying to speak French but feel nervous, don't worry about making mistakes. The effort counts, and most people will appreciate your willingness to try. Language isn't just about getting by. It's a bridge to forming deeper connections with locals. Engaging with the language will allow you to build friendships. Speaking even a few words of French or learning local English slang will open doors to genuine connections. Learn more about the culture. When you understand the language, you can participate in cultural exchanges, local traditions, and explore the hidden gems of Canadian cities. Dealing with language barriers while traveling to Canada doesn't have to be intimidating. Whether you're visiting the cosmopolitan city of Montreal or hiking in the Rockies, learning a few key phrases and using technology will help you navigate the linguistic landscape with ease. Plus, making an effort to speak the local language will enrich your travel experience and allow you to connect with people in a meaningful way. Ready to make your Canadian adventure even more memorable? Subscribe for more adventures. Stay tuned for more travel tips, cultural insights, and everything you need to know for your next trip.